So, a new update just dropped in Skyblock, and let's see what it's all about. Finally, for the first time in a while, Cat actually might be seeing some people pass by. But it's not just Cat either. We're going to take a look at the patch notes. I'll link these in the description in case you want to check them out for yourself. First of all, Hina's chapters. After receiving your Heart of the Forest from Hina, you'll unlock Hina's chapters, a new system which will guide you through Galatea's first island. Complete objectives to learn more about the island and get free rewards. Cool. Let us know what you think about the system, and if you would like to see it implemented into new islands from now on. First of all, I've not looked at it in-game, but I'll already tell you it's a good idea because so many people are overwhelmed and not really sure how to go about kind of navigating these new islands when they first actually release. So something like this is really good. I can go ahead and claim everything here, and then we get a bit of a reward, which is good. I mean, most people are probably going to have completed most of this. Wow. Never mind. Maybe I need to go ahead and do this. Shows how much hunting I've done. It also gives Skyblock XP, so this is definitely going to be something that you want to do. But I think it's a really good idea. It gives people, well, a first-hand sort of guide. I mean, it's almost similar to the Rift Guide, and the Rift Guide was really, really helpful. I think it would be cool to see this in new islands that are released. But just before we get into it, at the moment, we're actually trying to beat the population of Andorra with subscribers. The population of Andorra is around about 80,000 people. And once we reach 80,000 subscribers, we'll actually be visiting Andorra and we'll be able to claim that we have more subscribers than the population of the whole country, which would be pretty cool, so make sure to subscribe to make that happen. Also, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS, it gets yourself 5% off. You should join the Discord server, it's linked in the description of this video. We offer slayers and dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry, make some coins. Make sure to join. Pet crafting changes. We've revamped how pet crafting works to remove any and all randomness. Any pet you craft now starts at common rarity and you'll need to upgrade it at Cat now to get it up to legendary. We've rebalanced all of the material, coin and time costs. Generally speaking, most pets should be easier to obtain and upgrade for early game players, which is what our ultimate goal is. Cool. Since this update hit the alpha network, which it did probably about a week ago, we've done another balance passover of all of the resources costs for pet upgrades. Cool. You'll find all the updated values here. And here we can see all of the updated craft recipes for any of the pets that have changed in craft recipe. Cool. Interesting how they label it amateur, intermediate, skilled and expert. So let's have a bit of a think about these changes to pet crafting. You know, they say the aim is to make it so that all pets are easier to obtain for earlier game players, which is, I guess, good. I mean, you've got to understand that this is not all pets. This is all pets that are craftable. So pets that aren't craftable aren't now craftable. It's just the pets that were craftable have changed in how they're actually crafted for a lot of them. For instance, pets like the Blaze Pet. Now, this was only obtainable in epic and legendary rarity. It was basically a bit of a, it wasn't a 50-50 chance. I guess you could say it was, but the odds weren't 50-50. But you would craft the Blaze Pet, and it would either come out as epic or legendary. Now, of course, now they have things like a common Blaze, and I'm sure if we scroll far enough, probably an uncommon Blaze somewhere. I guess it does exist. Now, I think obviously they're removing the element of gambling and randomness. And obviously they're not removing the element of gambling for gambling's sake, because you could still roll a dice. And to be honest, I thought it was kind of cool how you could kind of just roll the dice at pets. I mean, I lost a lot of money from it. But then again, I don't really think it's the end of the world, and you know, it's not a change that's really gonna disappoint too many people other than those degenerate gamblers. No, I'm not one of them. I guess all in all, what they're doing is right, making it easier for earlier game players to get the pets that they want, making content more accessible to everyone, which is fine really. And as you can see, as I was saying, there's new rarities, common, uncommon and rare Blaze Pets, Glayside Golem, Pigman, and also with the Skeleton. Now what I will say is, a lot of these pets are going to be useless until they get to epic or legendary. Some of them won't, but most of them will. So I think for the actual item's sake, it is a bit pointless, but I guess maybe to take the randomness out and to make it a bit easier and cheaper for people to craft, that's fine by me. The chicken pet seems to have been revamped as an early game farming pet, giving you 50 farming fortune and 50 speed. Grants 100 farming fortune while on public islands, which is mid, because it's only going to be useful in the hub and on the farming islands. People aren't farming there. Anyway, Chickens always drop an egg. When killed, grants 100% chance for the animal to drop an addition item. To be honest, I don't really think anyone used the chicken pet. Whether this was already a perk or not, I'm not 100% sure. Light feet takes 100% less fall damage. Also not sure if this was already a perk. I guess the main attraction is the extra farming fortune you're gaining. And I guess the base 50 is not bad, because you can use that on the garden. But this is going to be a pretty useless perk for most people. And then to be honest, there's just a lot of other random changes to pretty much everything. This is a pretty long list. I think this update is definitely geared towards making the game more playable and improving quality of life for the newer players, which is a very good thing to do, considering those newer players will eventually be established players who've been playing the game for a while, will be telling their friends, come play Skyblock, you know? Ultimately, you want to keep the new players. Other changes, we've got changes to farming, mining, combat, fishing, you name it, miscellaneous too. Farming for dummies can now be applied to vacuums. Honestly, I don't know why that wasn't already a thing. Added a line to pest and mouse traps to show the trap limit. Mining better together event now takes into account players that are in your zone rather than distance in blocks. Okay. Reduce the collection requirements for glaciite, tungsten and umber. Brilliant, you know, I guess that, I wish that would have happened before I'd gone and maxed out those collections. Anyway, added suspicious scrap to dwarven sack once again. I don't know how that wasn't already a thing. Full state now only requires enchanting 25 to use. Yeah, so. Looks like I've got changes to the Blood God crest. Increase the drop rate of rampart armors. Yeah, it's okay. Increase the drop rate of cyclamen dye. You know what's something they do need to sort out that isn't included in any of these changes? You know, if you've been doing some foraging like most sensible people would have been doing over the past week or two, you accumulate a relatively decent amount of stuff in your inventory. Now, a lot of it can be solved by just simply insta-selling to the bazaar, but then you're still left with, well, these salts and also these sticks. Why are these not on the bazaar? Because, is anyone really selling them on the AH? I'm just NPC selling them. Put them on the bazaar. Why are they not on the bazaar? That could be a change that you want to include, because that's just kind of annoying having to then NPC sell stuff as well as bazaar sell stuff. It's not the greatest issue, but anyway. Now there's been a few changes to fishing too, reverted fix to being able to catch obfuscated one-trophy fish outside the Crimson Isles, added diver fragments to fishing sacks, increased weight of the bio sludge, increased the George sell price of mythic hermit crab to 2 million, bobbing time now requires hunting 20 to use, swapped with flow state. You can no longer sell abyphones to NPCs. This is great because I've sold an abyphone to an NPC before and not realised I've done it. I just mistook it for another item. So yeah, great. /AHEY search now tries to automatically select the auction house category with the most results. Huh. So what, I can just do AH search. Oh, then I have to do an item. Was this always in the game? Interesting. What should I search for? Blaze, because that's multiple categories. I guess there's most that show up in the tools and miscellaneous category. Cool, I guess. I mean, there's a ton of changes. Like I said, I'll link this in the description. If you want to go through them all yourself, then feel free. And yeah. But there's a ton of changes, and a lot of them just seem to be, I guess, fixing typos, bug fixes, and just balancing everything so it runs a bit smoother. So you can't really complain with the majority of this. But all in all, pretty good. I think the Hina's chapters is a good idea. I really need to crack on with this, considering supposedly the most basic things you can do in Galatea I've not done, which is interesting. And it's free Skyblock XP. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much that. But yeah, I do truly think this update is obviously directed at the earlier game players. Pretty much just making things a bit easier and a bit smoother for those guys, which is a smart move. I can't lie, it is a smart move. Let me know in the comments what you think of Hina's chapters. I don't really think you can really have many complaints about it, to be completely honest. And also let me know what you think about them changing the pet crafting situation, so that there's no gambling anymore, and that every pet that's craftable starts at common and is upgradable through cat. I mean, Hat wasn't really seeing much use, so I guess it's not bad. But let me know what you think. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.